I want to give a special welcome again to my boss, the Honorable Mayor Sylvester Turner. So, as we get started, in the words of Mayor Turner, I'm going to plagiarize him a little bit. Every great city has great partners. And I want to thank some of our great partners and champions of the Houston Fire Department that are joining us here today. From Metro National President, Mr. Jason Johnson. Vice President of Public Affairs for AT&T, Ms. Tracy King. Executive Vice President of HEB Houston, Mr. Armando Perez. And we don't have representatives from the following here today, but I want to give a special acknowledgement to KBR and Civic Entertainment for their incredible generosity and continued support. I want to give them a round of applause. So at this time, I want to welcome Mr. Lee Vela to speak a little bit about the Firefighter Foundation of Houston and the donations that we're receiving here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Pena, so much. It is my distinct honor to chair the Firefighter Foundation of Houston, and we're here for a very important announcement today at Station 8. The sole purpose of our foundation is to raise the necessary funds to purchase much needed life-saving equipment for the brave men and women of the Houston Fire Department. We are proud that 92 cents of every dollar raised goes directly to this effort. And I'd like to thank our board of directors who were introduced just now for their hard work in getting this accomplished. Thank you very much. Over the last number of years, the foundation has donated more than $1 million in equipment, but today marks, I think, the largest single donation we've made so far to the Houston Fire Department. The equipment you see here is a culmination of a year-long effort, and certainly a direct response of Hurricane Harvey, but we've been working for years to purchase the rescue boats in the past. But the storm really underscored our need to be prepared for the worst as a city. And that takes more than city government to do alone. Mayor, the city has certainly doing its part, but it is up to us as private citizens to answer the call for our fellow neighbors. And today we've heard that alarm, and we're here for you, for the Houston Fire Department. So now that you're seeing how generous, now that we saw how generous our community can be from Hurricane Harvey, we have to do more. And so it's up to individuals and to corporations that have stepped up to contribute to our foundation. And that's why we're here today, to dedicate this equipment that you see behind me. So companies like HEB, Metro National, AT&T, KBR, Civic Entertainment, and of course Chevron, are all wonderful corporate citizens who care about our community, and we want to thank them very, very much. But it's also those individuals, those other corporations, Kelsey-Seybold, Cigna, so many others that have stepped up to help us purchase not only this equipment, but equipment in the past, from everything from saws to Blitz nozzles to other boats we bought in the past. So firefighters, and even special wipes that the firefighters use to lower the case of carcinogens entering into their bodies after a fire. So those are some of the smaller things that we've done as an organization. So I do want to thank again Councilmember Stardig for being here and for her continuing support, and of course the support of Councilmember Cisneros and Councilmember Cassim Tatum. Thank you for being here. And Councilmember Robinson couldn't be here, but is represented by Garth Morgans. Garth is here somewhere. Garth, thank you for coming. And we want to continue these efforts to support our brave men and women for the Houston Fire Department. So I want to bring up to the podium now someone who really doesn't need an invitation, because I think we've all know who he is and how much he loves this city and what he does for our city. It's amazing. I don't know where he gets the energy. I'd like to find out, Mayor, where do you get that? But please welcome Mayor Sylvester Turner.
Thank you, Lee. And look, let me just say it's good to be with all of you today. I certainly want to thank Chief Pena for all you do. Thank you, Chief, for your hard work and dedication. To all of the executive command staff, let me thank all of you. To all of the firefighters, let me thank them for what they do each and every day. And let me just say, let me also acknowledge, of course, we have Councilmember Brenda Stardick, who's here. You'll be hearing from shortly. Councilmember Martha Castek Tatum, our new council member, the new kid on the block, is here. And then Councilmember Carlos Cisneros. It's good to be with all of you. Again, let me acknowledge Jason Johnson, the president of Metro National. He's such a young-looking guy. Tracy King from AT&T, Armando Perez from HFD, of course, Lee Vela, and to the entire board, to the foundation. Let me thank you all for what you all have done over and over and over and over again. So thank you so very, very much. It's a pleasure to be here to accept this generous donation from the Firefighters Foundation of Houston. I was looking at those trucks. Those are some big trucks. I mean, those are some big trucks. Time and again, the organization, the foundation, has provided our firefighters the equipment needed to keep Houstonians safe. And I want to thank the foundation for its generosity. Today's dedication of $263,973 worth of emergency equipment includes 2 Zodiac boats, an inflatable rescue boat, 2 evacuation boats with a trailer, and 2 high water vehicles for rescue and evacuation efforts. And that is simply amazing. Give it up to the foundation. Come on. Look, June 1st marked the beginning of hurricane season. It seemed like it came so very, very quickly. And as we all know, Hurricane Harvey brought unprecedented floods that took lives and property. However, city first responders rescued more than 6,000 Houstonians during last year's floods, sparing the lives of many. With the boats and equipment donated today by the Firefighters Foundation, our firefighters have greater capability to save even more lives. And although I hope that we don't have to use these emergency vehicles soon, we can be assured that the city is better prepared for the next storm, and that's what it's all about. Public safety is a top priority for the city of Houston. The combined annual investment for fire and police represents approximately 57% of the city's operating budget. And as mayor, I've made it a top priority to provide HFD with the resources it needs while balancing the city's financial challenges. And those challenges are well documented going back for years. Despite the city's financial constraints, we have allocated over $20 million for fire department assets, equipment, and training in the last 2 fiscal years. Since fiscal year 2017, the city has purchased 8 fire engines, 5 aerial apparatus, 24 ambulance and ambulance chassis, 44 light-duty staff vehicles, personal protection equipment, and replaced the radio in-mass communication systems. The projected apparatus purchases for fiscal year 2019 include 10 fire engines, 3 aerial apparatus, and 8 ambulances. In addition, we are in the process of acquiring ballistic vests for fire department employees, additional flood response vehicles, and development of a drone program for the fire department. But we couldn't do the work without the partnership with the Firefighters Foundation, as well as that of private citizens, is what allows Houston to persevere when faced with adversity. The donation the city has received today is invaluable to our firefighters and, quite frankly, to Houston and its citizens. And again, I want to thank the foundation for being so generous, for stepping up, for partnering with the city of Houston on behalf of the people in the city of Houston and specifically our firefighters. So thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Mayor Turner, for the incredible leadership that you have for our city and for always facing the many challenges that we have every day. We're truly grateful. It's now my distinct honor to introduce a council member who has been a true friend to the department and our foundation, and through her efforts raised over $60,000 last fall for this effort that you see behind us today. So we couldn't do all this without these folks stepping up, and I now give you Councilmember Brenda Stardig.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate everyone being here this morning. As the chair of Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee for the City of Houston, Mayor, I've said time and time again, I take this position very, very serious. It's very important to our city, to our firefighters, to our police officers, to all of our first responders that make a difference every day in this city. We can't do this without private partnerships, though. We have to have the public-private partnerships supporting our efforts and complementing and supporting and making a difference. But it also gives us buy-in, because I think when we see that the partners come together and they have that buy-in, they're there to support even more, and they recognize and understand what the firefighters and the police officers have to go through when they're out there in the field, and what the cost to the city and to the taxpayers. So I want to make sure that today that everyone understands that I understand the need for upgraded life-saving equipment. We understand that, and it's been reflected today in what you see behind me. I did host a District A Gives Back, my annual event, and I want to thank everyone that came out and supported. It's easy when you come out to Carbach Brewery, right, in District A. So, but it's fun, and we want to have fun. It's okay to have fun. I think it's okay. But as a result of that, we made a lot of asks, and I did make a call, and we talked to Scott, and he said, just remember, he did say this: we are the store that does more, Brenda, council member. So I kid you not, and I just love him. He makes me smile just thinking about it. But it is my honor to be a part of giving back for this worthy cause and for the people that mean so much to our city. The Houston Fire Department has an ongoing need for new equipment, so I hope that we continue to work with the Firefighter Foundation, and I urge everyone to make a donation if they are able. I think it's important. With that said, today, I know there's so many that are involved, but Lee, I wanted to give you a certificate, if I may, just if I have that opportunity.
Thank you so
No,
much.
I recognize here the foundation board. They do come out and they work. They do the work. They don't just show up. They do the work. And thank you all for being at the event that I had in District A. It means a lot to my constituents. It is my privilege now to recognize and introduce Fire Chief Pena. I want to thank you. While I have the microphone, I have to take this moment to thank you. You have stepped up to the plate. He's only been here a very short time in Houston, Texas, and I just feel like you are just part of the team. You are a true Houstonian, and we are blessed to have you. Thank you.